Alrighty. What's going on, everybody? Dwight with the New Age Goonies. We are here, and it's about to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time again. It's that rise and grind. It's metal detecting time. Woo!
All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at Extreme Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. Extreme Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. Extreme Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. Extremescoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chuck was shipshape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig up a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, we're back. I guess I can't say we're live. Or are we? No, the chat is not pre-recorded. Oh, it's been a little bit. I guess first off, we've got to backtrack a little bit. And we had meant to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Christmas. We had meant to get Christmas cards and things out to a few people, and unfortunately time just kind of ran out on me. I mean, what do you do? I had full intentions, and it was one of those deals where I had a big wrench thrown in things. But not just me. I mean, not here. There's a number of us that had a big wrench thrown in things for the holidays. And now we're recouping from the holiday fun and festivities. Hopefully everyone else is doing well. They had a safe and happy holiday. And obviously tonight is New Year's Eve. We're finishing out 2023 and rolling into 2024. And we'll get back to that. First off, though, for people that are dropping in, don't go anywhere. We've got some announcements, some updates to mention to people, as well as we have a winner to announce as well. Because we had meant to announce the silver half winner for posting up the Indians in the Beyond Sight and Sound group, which anybody that posted up an Indian, they got entered. And then there was one person randomly selected, so this wasn't by date, this wasn't by rarity, condition, anything like that. You could have posted up an Indian that was in any condition at all and got yourself entered. And that person wins a silver half. We were going to announce that between Christmas and New Year's. But obviously, for those that are following the show, we've been a little MIA lately. And that's a little bit of what the announcements and updates and things like that have to do with. Now, with that being said, obviously, we're not planning on keeping you long. I know that it's New Year's. Everybody wants to go and get their dig on or get their festivities on or whatever the case is, you know. Maybe some people are just gonna, I'm gonna do laundry and watch the ball drop and go to bed because that's good enough for me. And who knows? Might be good enough for me here too. I may not even make it to watching the ball drop. Who knows? Things have been quite hectic lately. So this will be a short run. Obviously, this is a pre-recorded show. This is not a from the vault. It's not an archive. This is a pre-recorded run. We've tried to make some posts on the page and in the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group, and some of that may have even carried over to groups like Metal Detecting Central Illinois or Detect America, things like that. And trying to somewhat keep everyone up to date on what's going on recently. About the best way to do it is to do this little pre-recorded show and let the listeners catch it and bring them all up to speed, hopefully, in one shot. So that's what we're going to try to do here tonight, anyway. So let's see here. Yeah, the 20th, I believe it was. Yeah, the 20th, we were going to go live then, I believe, and we got hit with a little bit of a hiccup. And that was all well and good. Everybody was probably trying to prepare for the holidays and all of that anyway. Obviously, then, because of the way the holidays are falling this year and the show scheduling, Christmas Eve was an archive, just like tonight should have been an archive, but in lieu of the archive, we're doing this pre-recorded show. And with that in mind, back up to the calendar again, on December 27th, that was when we were going to announce the winner of the little Indian contest that we had going in the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group. And lo and behold, what did folks get? From the vault. Again. I know, I can already hear it. I can see people shaking their heads. We prefer the live runs over the archives. And I get it. I do. It couldn't be helped. It could not be helped. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, what we've got going on here, and maybe you're even asking yourself, and maybe not, maybe you're going, where have the shows gone? I don't see notification of Beyond Sight and Sound going live. I don't see notification of Relics Radio or whatever, whatever the case may be. I don't see notification of the podcasts that I follow on Spreaker going live. And just so we're clear, for those that listen to the show throughout distribution, through the podcast distribution services, whether it's iHeart, iTunes, anything like that. Currently, this episode originated and propagated from Spreaker, which is the hosting service that we have used for quite some time, actually. I want to say, I mean, we've been through other hosting venues, way back in the day. Some of the diehard listeners, and I see them there. The Bills know. They could tell you. Way back in the day, we were on 1,000 Mics. And then there for a short time, we were on Blog Talk. We hung around there for a while. But then we started having problems. There were... Basically, what prompted the change from Blog Talk was the fact that there were intrusive advertising that were locking up some people's computers. I mean, obviously, this is a podcast. This is an audio-only podcast, so you can listen to the show from any device, whether it's your browser, whether it's your smartphone, your tablet, whatever the case may be. But those that were listening on computer, some of their systems were old enough that it literally would lock their system up. And we couldn't do that. That was not a good listening environment for you, the always appreciated listener. So we moved. We got away from Blog Talk. We came to Spreaker. And it's, I don't know. It's a little surprising when you look at the amount of episodes that are housed here on Spreaker, because we did, a couple of years ago, I believe, we had to expand our package. We had to upgrade so that we could continue to house all of the episodes, because we were beginning to run out of storage. Which would have been fine at that point. The older episodes would have fell off as the newer ones came on, and you folks know how it goes. So we upgraded the plan to allow for more storage. And that worked fine. That worked fine. Here on Spreaker, currently, there are more than 800 episodes of Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio, for the listeners to listen to. That is a ton of hours that are housed. And we're talking MP3 files, so they are relatively light as far as file size and storage capacity and all of that. That being said, you guys and gals that follow the show, I keep archives backed up. I have a external backup that I use for every episode that's been done. That's why we call them from the vault. Because we can go clear back to day one if we choose to. I try not to because it just makes me feel old. But we do have that capability. And when you're talking terms of MP3s, that does not seem like a lot of file size. But when you talk in terms of the Beyond Sight and Sound vault that houses every episode that we have done, now you're talking gigabytes of data. Literally. I have a terabyte drive that we house these episodes on. And it's got a fairly quick write speed. But I can tell you, good example, the other day, I made sure that I had everything backed up. I tried to import directly off the RSS feed, and it took more than an hour to go through, back everything up. Every episode that we have on Spreaker, all of that, it took more than an hour to transfer all of that stuff, to make sure that the backup was up to date and all of that. And these are just MP3s we're talking about. It's not like we're moving terabytes of video. And we're not necessarily running on... I mean, sure, the show system could be a little more up to date. It could be a little faster, but it's not like we're running on a Commodore 64 or something. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad system. And, knock on wood, thankfully, it has worked well. And hopefully we can keep it working. But recently, on the 20th, we had dropped a link for a show. People came in, they were expecting a show, and there was no show there. Tried to get things up and running. We had hit a glitch. And past experience shows that some of the diehard listeners, they will stick around, and we appreciate that very much. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. But usually after the first 15 minutes of trying to get a show up and going, if you're doing a live feed and you can't get it up in the first 15 minutes, then a lot of times the listeners are already going on. They're trying to find something else to do for the evening or whatever. So we scheduled an archive to launch at 20 minutes after 8 on the 20th. And that's what we had to do because of the glitch that we ran into. Now, like I said before, we've been here on Spreaker for a while. And this is not the first rodeo. This is not the first venue. The diehards know we've been doing this a minute. We've went through a few venues and all of that. And the issue that I saw pop up, usually we've had little glitches before in the past, and we're able to get them resolved fairly quickly because of the experience under the belt. This issue had never seen it before. Never. So we contacted support just to see what they had to say. And support kind of played it off as it was an issue on my end. You know, check this, do that. All the things that some of us, if we have issues with our internet or whatever, we do all of this stuff before we contact support. And this was nothing to do with the internet. Nothing at all. This was to do with the hosting service that was being used for the show. So the first thing is, don't you think, with the years that we've been doing the show, I would have thought to try this first before contacting you? But, okay, we'll jump through the hoops. So we tell them, yes, we've done all of this, we've done this, we've done that, we've even tried this, you know, here's some screenshots. It clearly shows you what's going on, the screenshots that you requested, yada, yada, yada. Then they come back with, currently, we do not support the live feature. Our team is working on it. Okay. I'm fine with that, I guess, if your team's working on it. Because we've seen in the past that there have been updates issued, I'm going to say, as quick as a few days or a week apart if there's a bug that needs fixed, and it gets addressed. So we communicate back and forth a little bit longer. And finally, I asked them, I believe it was Christmas Eve, actually. I asked them, okay, when did this issue start? Is there a workaround yet? When can we expect the issue to be resolved? Can we expect it to be resolved by the end of the year? And the reply I get, and maybe you'll hear this through some of the other shows too, because apparently they're having the same. I can only guess that they're having the same issue because we haven't heard anything from any of them. And that's when they say, we strongly suggest that you pre-record your shows and publish them at a later date. I don't like that answer. And I'm sure you guys and gals don't like that answer. Because we know everybody likes a live run. Sometimes it's a necessary evil. We have to do an archive or a pre-recorded show. Especially if I'm going through my treatments right then. Things like that. So sometimes it can't be helped. But in this particular scenario, it truly is beyond the control of Beyond Sight and Sound. We're working with them. We're trying to see what can be done. But at the same time, we're also investigating and looking into other options for housing the podcast. Maybe even a video live stream. And we've had a poll up where people have been able to chime in with their thoughts, opinions, what have you. And at this point, we are very seriously kicking around the idea of maybe incorporating a video live stream of Beyond Sight and Sound at least once a month. I would, and I'm sure you folks would, as well as the archive listeners, would prefer to continue going on the way we have. And I am looking into options to continue on the way we have. That may mean that we're going to have to move venues again. I know, I can see everybody already. You're going, what the hell? It happens. Sometimes you have to move on. Are we scrapping the project? No, absolutely not. Okay? For the long-time listeners that have been with us from day one, they know that when I launched the Beyond Sight and Sound project, it was kind of my baby. It's a labor of love. There's been, I can't even begin to try and calculate the number of hours that have went into trying to produce a show for the listeners, line up guests, not to mention the amount of, on the monetary side, the cost of equipment and upkeep and travel for live remotes and different things of that nature. So it really is a labor of love. And in the past, people that have followed the YouTube channel know that it was monetized in the past. And I have actually, that was about 6 months ago, maybe, demonetized the YouTube side. And the option has always been there to monetize the podcast. I try not to, and who knows, maybe at some point that may have to be done to help with upkeep of the equipment. I don't have a clear, concise answer for you. Anyway, we appreciate the listeners for being extremely patient while we try to work through this issue. And we are trying to work through the issue so that we can come back to bringing the listeners the live shows that they enjoy. I mean, the archives are still there for the listeners that enjoy the archives, and that's great. We love that they enjoy them. They can fit them in as their schedule allows, on demand, downloadable, what have you. Obviously, we're through a number of the podcast distribution services. And we're trying to do what we can to bring the show back to you live again. That may, like I said, require a move, a change in venue. If it does require a change in venue, folks will still be able to find the show, follow the Beyond Sight and Sound page, the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group, for updates there on the show. If the venue does change, we will let people know. And at that point, I'm sure it will work just like it is here, where you may have to sign up for an account to listen or interact in the chat, but it will be a free account. That is kind of that's kind of something that we're not willing to give on. We want people to be able to follow the show. We try to put out information and content that helps everyone or takes their mind off of things for a little while or gives them a good laugh. And, you know, if we can do that for one person, just one person each episode, that makes all the time and effort worthwhile. To me. So there may be some changes coming, not only in venue, but also in audio. We are going to be doing what we can. Some of you folks may remember the big booming studio sound that we used to have back in the day. With Spreaker, I got away from it a little bit. I mean, I could clean it up a little bit post-production. But we're seeing what we can do to bring back that big booming audio sound that some of the listeners remember, that nice studio quality run. And we'll see how things go. I mean, I've still got the mics. Well, most of them. I am down one mic. But we do still have that. And we are going to try to work that capability back in. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, will we still be able to call into the show? Yes. I am trying to do everything in my power to make it as such so that you can still call into the show. We will still continue to carry the Skype number. And in that respect, also, here on Spreaker, some of the listeners, when they call in, I know, I hear it, it can get a little disorienting. Maybe you get a little bit of echo on your side. And in the past, we have not had that. And that's another change coming. We will be trying to get rid of that so that there is no feedback, no echo on your end, so you're not as confused if you're calling in, interacting with the show. It requires a little bit of an update on my end there are some things that I can do with software that would greatly alleviate that. There are. But is it necessarily the best solution? No, it's not. So we are working to try and take care of that. I do have some updated equipment on the way that actually it was quite a large purchase that I was not planning on right now. But hey, it is what it is. More importantly is the issue of, as long as I get all of this work back in, then at that point I may have to sell a couple of mixers, or who knows, maybe even sell a detecting coil or something like that to be able to get the proper equipment to completely resolve that issue. We'll see how it goes. But right now, the important thing is that we need to make sure that the listeners know we are trying to work through this. And we will be back. We're just seeing if the current hosting service forces our hand and we have to change venue, or if the issue gets resolved. That's the important part, really. I mean, that's what we have to do. It sucks, but sometimes that's what has to be done. And obviously the listeners know there's never been any issue before. If you want to reach out to me with questions, comments, feedback, I'm not hard to find. Many of you have my personal cell phone number. You can find me on Messenger, on Facebook. If you do try to reach out to me through Facebook, with the changes that Facebook has made, please do not message the Beyond Sight and Sound page. Message me directly, Josh Kimmel. And that will give you a direct line to me as well. And I am more than happy to answer any questions that anyone may have about what's going on. And basically this episode was just to kind of bring everyone up to date. And I think at this point we have done as much. We've brought everyone up to date. So there may be a change in venue coming. There will be a change in audio coming. We're going to try to go back to our big booming studio sound instead of what we are running currently, and the mics that we're running currently. We have been doing so just because it's a little simpler. So we're going to do away with that. We're going to try to get back to our big booming studio sound that a lot of listeners really appreciated in the past. So, with that in mind, you can always reach out to me. Feel free to. Some of you already have, and we appreciate that. Definitely. We try to do what we can to make ourselves available when the listeners do have questions, those that follow the show, the page, the group, all of that. And we appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that they do follow. That's why we do this. We enjoy interacting with the followers, the listeners, the friends. We enjoy all of that, and we continue to do that. That's why we continue to do that. You folks are a blast, and you're definitely very valued and appreciated. So we want, and we have to mention too, the winner of the Indian contest for the silver half that we were giving away. We are going to go ahead and announce them right now. The people that posted up a photo of an Indian in any condition, anything like that, got themselves entered into the drawing. They were in the running for a silver half. I can't say for sure. I believe that was a walker, and that comes courtesy of Chuck Smalley over at Shooters and Prospectors. Obviously, you folks that have followed the show, you know who it was coming from and everything. And those entries were all pooled together. A winner was randomly drawn, and that winner was Mike Laquamette of Metal Detecting Central Illinois. So everyone, make sure and give Mike a congratulations on his win. Congratulations, Mike. Thanks for all you do. We appreciate the support in the past that you have given, and we also appreciate the continued support. Because as folks know, Mike had put together a very nice silver pack. A Morgan silver dollar, a silver Washington quarter, a Mercury dime, and I believe there may even be a half in there too. And we are still going to give that away. We will do that on our next live show. So there may still be a couple of archives, but on our next live show, we will be doing that giveaway. So stay tuned for that. We were going to do it between Christmas and New Year's, but as I said, this was beyond the control of Beyond Sight and Sound. So we will do that. We also have a silver round, I believe, up for grabs, and maybe even some copper, too. So depending on what happens, whether it's here, whether it moves to another venue, whatever, we will keep you posted, and we will get that giveaway done. As I've said before, and moving on, we have always appreciated the continued support of the listeners, and we've always appreciated those that have worked with the show and made donations as far as prizes, things of that nature. It's always a blast. Everybody likes to win a little something, so that's something to keep in mind. Make sure and remember that. And other than that, I do believe that we are going to roll on out of here and wish everyone a happy new year, a safe new year. Be safe. Congratulations once again to Mike Laquamette, Metal Detecting Central Illinois, for winning the silver half in our Indian giveaway. Have a safe and happy new year, folks. May 2024 be your year. And who knows, maybe it's a golden year. Either way, get out there and try to find a bucket lister if you can. Dig it all, everyone. We will return. Thanks for dropping in. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Have a wonderful evening. We're out of here.